This episode is brought to you by FX's Feud, Capote versus the Swans. Inspired by actual events, the series tells the story of Truman Capote and the women he betrayed. The original housewives. They were society's most elite women. Rich, glamorous socialites who defined a bygone era of high society New York. From creator Ryan Murphy, this drama series features an all-star cast, including Naomi Watts, Demi Moore, and Diane Lane. FX's Feud premieres January 31st on FX Stream on Hulu.
You don't really want to be doing these things. Listen in to find out. I'm Kelly Wilkniss here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks, things that could make your home look cheap. Sorry, guys, but there are some things that people are doing that really takes away from the look of their home. And we're going to cover some of those things today. Don't be insulted if you're doing some of these things. We all have or are doing some of these things. It's just good to talk about it and then think about it.
Yeah, I mean, you may say, you know what, I know this might not be something a lot of people will like, but I'm going to do it anyway. And that's fine too. But at least go forward with the knowledge and you can make your own decisions that way.
Exactly. Go forth with the knowledge. We always, we really encourage everyone to do that. Yes. So today's topic, things that could make your home look a little cheap.
I think I've done a lot of these. I really do.
You know? And sometimes it's just stuff like you gloss over it. You don't even really think about it. And you know what? Having an expensive, luxurious, comfortable style is really not about money. So when we use the word cheap today, we are not talking about dollar signs or how much you spent on something. It's how you put it all together creatively and giving each thing that you put in your home real consideration, because really your home should be the best reflection of you.
Yeah, I like to think of it, if you want to do a fashion analogy, it would be similar to someone putting on a beautiful dress. It wouldn't even have to be an expensive dress, but her slip is showing. To me, that's going to ruin the whole look.
Who wears slips?
Well, I know nobody wears slips anymore, but that's what I could think. That's the best I could do.
Okay. If anybody does wear slips, again, we're okay with that. And God bless you. But I'm not sure who's doing that. We could bring those back. But yes, we get what you're saying. Right? Like you go to these lengths, but then, maybe, you've got chipped nail polish or, you have your flip-flops
It's not
on.
about money. It's totally not about money. I absolutely agree with you. There's just little things that you do that somehow just they chip away at the look that you're wanting to present.
You're right. That's what happens, because it's not like a big thing. It's usually not a big thing. It's these little things that add up. And when you sort of scan around the room, not that anybody that you're friends with should be coming into your house and being like, oh, this looks cheap. But if you're listening to this show, you have such pride of home. You care. So these may be things, we're just going to shine a flashlight on them and the virtual flashlight. And you can decide whether or not you want to alter them or whether or not you're doing them or whether or not you don't care if you're doing them. And that's all up to you.
Right.
So the first one I have on my list is really easy to fix, but it just might not be something you know about. If your pillow inserts are too small, that makes your pillows not look their best.
Oh, good one.
Yes.
Right? Well, they just look kind of crinkled and just flat. I don't know.
Right.
They just
and then
have that perky look.
Yeah. And then like the pillow cover just looks too big and it's got So if your inserts are too small, whether you use down or whether you use poly or you use down alternative or whatever you're using, your pillow insert should be 2 inches bigger than your pillow cover in a general sense.
That's true. Unless it's a really small pillow or a bolster, then you are going to use it the same size.
Correct.
Now, another thing to think about is, because I have a situation where I have some pillow shams and the pillows in there, I guess, just weren't that fluffy, or maybe the shams were just made a little too big and they look terrible. I mean, I'm thinking about a couple of mine that I have right now and I'm thinking they look really bad. So one thing you can do is put a second pillow in there. 2 thin ones can usually fluff it up, but I know I have a couple where when I put the 2 in, looked like it was about to burst out. So I'm going to have to find some in between. But the pillows, you know, a sleeping pillow you can get in different plumpness. So I think I'm just going to have to switch out those pillows I have in those shams.
That's a good trick.
Mm-hmm.
A tip and a trick.
Oh, and then speaking of pillows that don't look perfectly fluffed because the insert is too small, you know, you can have a similar situation with a duvet that looks a little kind of flat and limp. So another thing that you can do, and I know when I worked at a store, we did this all the time, and I've done this in my own home, is putting 2 duvets inside a duvet cover if you really want to plump it up. And it looks very luxurious if you do that.
Now, when you did that at home, did you sleep with it like that?
I can't sleep under the duvet. I'm in Texas. It's too hot.
Oh, okay. So that was just for show.
It's just looks only.
Okay. Registers. I'm not talking about cast registers. I'm talking about the ones that are in your house that let the hot air, you know, the heat and the air conditioning flow around.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a pet peeve of mine. And they are easily changed. Or if they can't be changed, they could at least be painted the color of the wall so they fade away as much as possible.
Yeah, I've got to get mine changed out, but I'm going to have to look and see. Well, no, they're painted the color, but I don't have the nicer looking ones. But it's on my list. I keep thinking I've got to do that, and then I forget.
Okay, they're not inexpensive if you have to get a custom size. So look around. There's Regio registers. I can put the link in the show notes, something like that. But then I just tripped upon, these are for ones that are on the wall. So ones that are vertical, they're actually plastic. And they look, I've only seen them on the internet, but they look good and the reviews are good. So that's a possibility, you know, for one that you have just, you know, not close to the baseboard, maybe up higher, or I have several in the floor. But I know a lot of homes are created with these in the wall. And sometimes if it's a builder house or a spec house or one that you didn't get to design from the get-go, they put them in the stupidest places, like in the middle of the wall.
Well, here's the thing. Even if you did get to design it, because I was involved in this every step of the way, the design on this house. But when it comes to those registers, when it comes to the air conditioning ducts, because I had a big discussion with my builder about it, the AC guy comes in, and unless you're here the day he comes, it is what it is. And even if you're here, a lot of times they have to route it a particular way. So, you know, around other things. So you don't always have a choice on where those go. So just keep that in mind.
That is true.
Yeah. But I am going to go look at the ones that you're talking about, because I think the ones I have are very ugly.
You guys, it makes such a difference.
And mine are in the ceiling, but they're ugly.
Yeah. And so maybe these rubbery plastic ones would be good for you because they'll look good, but a God forbid thing that would fall out, you know, because I have very heavy metal ones, like cast iron ones.
Mine are, oh, well, they're metal. They're not cast iron.
In the floor. But if you have this beautiful floor and then all of a sudden you have this white metal register that looks like it came from the hardware store, that really detracts from your look of your floor. And it's so easy to replace it or take it out. This is what I did in our prior house. I just took them all out and I spray painted them all black. So they just faded away.
Oh, well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's amazing how there's all these little touches in custom homes that sometimes the spec houses don't have, but it is easy to change those little things out.
Oh, you just slid me right into my third one. Basic builder grade lighting.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. You've all seen it. And I hate this word, but people reference it. The boob light. You've heard that, right?
Hey, I had it. Heard it. I've had them.
How many boob lights?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. More than a pair. Yeah, I don't like that phrase, but it is very descriptive of what that light looks like. You've probably all seen that light. It kind of looks like a boob. Or I mean, that's where it came from. It's just a flush mount light that you could probably replace with any light. You could do another flush mount that's a lot better. You could do a small chandelier. You could do anything. Oftentimes you see these, I mean, I guess the builder grade, you know, lighting could be anywhere, but lots of times they put them in hallways. It's just like, oh yeah, put that up. It's fine. You know, if you've got one of those, lighting is not expensive. nice lighting is not expensive. So you can look all around, in Wayfair, Lamps Plus, places like that. You don't have to go to Circle Lighting. You don't have to get something that is $800. Probably for maybe even under $100, like maybe $60 to $80, you could replace that boob light with a really nice flush mount and use the opportunity, particularly in a hallway, just to make a statement with the lighting. Is maybe in the hallway there's not much else going on. You could have a really cool light that would just be what you need in that space to make it personalized.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Another thing that I've noticed, and I've been guilty of a lot in the past, is the mass-produced art. And you know what I'm talking about. It's the art that you go to the discount store to buy, and it's the same art that everyone has. It's mass-produced. It doesn't look special. And maybe it was the right color or the right size that you needed for the space. But I've got to cut people a break on this one. Buying artwork is tough. It's very hard to find stuff you like, and it's hard to find the sources, and then it's hard to find something that's unique for you. So I get that this one is
not
tough.
if you listen to Decorating Tips and Tricks.
Well, I know. I was going to say we'll link up the episode, but we listed several sources, and I've actually just redone some stuff, rearranged some things in one of my rooms. So I was just thinking, I really need to buy some more artwork. And I'm thinking, I need to pull that up and see what some of those sources were, because I'm thinking I'm going to buy something. But you buy something that's meaningful to you. And again, like we've said, it does not have to be expensive. I've found some fun travel posters that I love that were very inexpensive and just had them framed. And again, they were standard size frames. It was not expensive framing. So there's so much that you can do. Listen to the episode and you're going to enjoy the artwork more if it's something that you really put some care into selecting.
Yeah, that's a good one. And that, I think, almost everybody, I know I did that.
You don't want to look like the doctor's waiting room.
Yeah. And even if you like it, I remember buying, I think it was not a triptych, but I think it was 2 from Ballard. And, they weren't super cheap. And I just really liked them. But here it was. They went with my room.
Mm-hmm. The right colors, you mean?
Yeah. And they were right colors. And they were flowers. So they were pretty. But here it was. I bought it from a catalog. So everybody in the whole world could have that if they wanted, okay, not everybody in the world, but a lot of people could purchase that from Ballard. So I could go into somebody else's house in my neighborhood and they might have this exact same art. That's not what I'm looking for in art these days. So, that was several years ago, a couple of houses ago. And I remember actually, I think I sold them at a yard sale or something. And I remember kind of like, as the lady was buying them, like I still kind of liked them. So you might like it, but try not to buy.
Try not to like them? Is that what you're saying?
Just try not to buy art that is so accessible to everyone. Because it's not that interesting.
That sounds a little snobby.
No. That is not snobby. Okay. I'd rather see somebody make enlarge something that their kids did, or a photograph, or, just something personal, rather than just, that's pretty. Sure, it's fine. It's not offensive. And it's in my colors. Let me put that up on the wall and look at it every day of my life. No. Find something that really moves you. And maybe that's just the piece that is going to give your room a little tension or a little interest, or people can say, oh my gosh, that's so fabulous. Is that from a trip? Is that something you did? Did you paint that? Oh, do you know the artist? Or go to all those places that we listed in that other episode, which is great resources for small time artists who are trying to make it big. And so who knows, maybe you could buy something and years later it'll be really valuable.
Well, that's true. And my little thing that I love it's antique portraits.
Yeah, so
cool. I have some paintings and some drawings of real people.
What I don't love is a lot of plastic in my house.
Oh, you are speaking my love language.
So what I suggest to everyone is just replace a few plastic things with some non-plastic items. How about just imagine if you have all plastic big spoons and spatulas and things like that. What if you switched them over to wood? And what if you put them in a pretty pitcher or a pretty canister or something on your countertop, or even just having them in the drawer? When you open the drawer, you'll see these lovely wooden spoons. How about a bamboo or wooden utensil holder in your drawer rather than a rubber one? It just makes a big difference. I remember when we were first finished with this kitchen, I think that the moment that I knew is when I had my bamboo extendable utensil holder and I put it in the drawer and I filled it all up. I remember closing the drawer and then I just had to open it one more time to look at it because we had not had a kitchen for 8 months. And wow. I just can't even tell you how good that felt. And I was for sure not going to put a plastic one in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just a little thing, but it makes such a difference.
Oh, it does. And speaking of little things, I wanted to add to our discussion of artwork. When your artwork is too small, I think that's another issue. And that's something that we see a lot of, Kelly.
Yeah.
Our walls, that the artwork is just too small. So then, the person knows something's not right. So instead of replacing the artwork with something bigger, they just add more artwork. And then it can really feel confused because some of the artwork's grouped together and some of it isn't. And it's really going to feel a lot better in most cases to just replace it with one big piece of art.
Agreed, for sure. And the same holds true for the rug size. We've talked to you guys about this before, but that's something that you're like, I think I joked at one point, like a bath mat in front of your sofa. You really don't want to be doing that. And you could have an absolutely stunning room and then you have this little postage stamp of a rug. It's like, you should have just gone for the bigger one or layer it or something like that. And we can reference the rug episode so you can have a listen to the specifics on that.
But the amazing thing is how doing something like that can really throw your room off. And that's going to be what people notice rather than all the beautiful things you have in the room. They're going to notice that rug feels a little off.
Also the furniture sets. I mean, this bears repeating. Don't do that. That just really not only dates your room, but it just makes it look like, the whole set was $800. So I just got the whole thing. I don't care what you spent on it. It's not what's happening now. So just break it up. That's so easy to do. So move things around. Even if you want to keep the whole set, put a part of it in a different room. And I think that will really not only make your whole look feel more expensive, but also, and I'm using that word expensive in kind of air quotes, also freshen up the room.
And that reminds me of something I, again, see all the time. And I've definitely been a victim of this too. And I call it being held hostage by your furniture or by your decor. So I don't care whether you inherited it, it came as a gift, maybe you even bought it, but there's probably something in your house that you really cannot stand anymore. It's just something that's really bugging you. And it's that thing in the room that's just not working. And it's driving you nuts. Get rid of it. Go ahead, move it out, sell it, give it away. Do whatever you need to do to get it out of the room. There's a reason you don't like it. It probably just doesn't even, it's not even working in the room. But so many people hold on to that because they feel bad about moving it on out. But that's the thing that's probably throwing your room off. So go ahead and move it out. I'm telling you, you're going to feel so much better when you do.
Hey, we'll be right back with the rest of the show, but keep listening so we can continue bringing you DTT. BritBox just keeps getting better. The new Archie is amazing. And it's not the comics. It's about Cary Grant. Archie is the brand new limited series starring Jason Isaacs as Archie Leach, the man who became Cary Grant. From the award-winning screenwriter of Philomena, Archie tells Grant's born in Britain, made in Hollywood story, the dramatic grit to glamour transformation that led him to become one of the most famous people in the world. You are going to absolutely love the acting, but also the styling, the outfits, the scenery. It's the first time his story has been told in collaboration with his daughter Jennifer Grant and ex-wife Diane Cannon. The performances from Jason Isaacs and the rest of the cast are amazing, and it's only available on BritBox. So sign up for BritBox today to stream Archie and other fan favorites from any device. And we have a special limited time offer for our U.S. and Canadian listeners. Get 50% off. Yes, that's 50% off your first month when you sign up for a monthly plan. But only if you go to BritBox.com and use our promotion code DTT at checkout. You're going to love Archie. So head over right now and get 50% off your first month of BritBox. Use the promotion code DTT at BritBox.com. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfast, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Here's something that, I don't know, I could get a little in trouble. But you know what? You guys love me. And if you don't, then I guess you'll just stop listening.
What's it going to be now?
We're talking about, things that make your home look a little, on the cheaper side. Again, air quotes, cheaper side. Mm-hmm. Stuff that's too cute. In a kid's room.
Too cute.
Yeah. In a kid's room, fine. Nursery up to sort of teens, what have you. They're little, it's cute. Then it's their private space, what have you. But not all around your house. Not little cute, like catty figurines and things like that, or sayings and whatnot. It's going to drag everything down. And, this is very specific to the item. So I throw this out there as just a general cautionary tale in a sense. But you might be looking in your item and saying, no, this live, love, laugh sign is perfect and it goes great and I love it in my entry or what have you. Then that's fine if it's really working. But what we do here when we're talking to you is just giving you ideas and tips and trying to give you fresh eyes on what's going on in your house. And so there might be some things that might just fall into the too cute category and they need to go someplace else.
Yes. And speaking of things that are too cute, how about just too many little things out? Yeah. It may not even be too cute, but it's just too much of it, because too much of a good thing is not a good thing. Especially these smaller things that really start, when you've got a lot of little things, it starts really feeling cluttered, and that can really throw a room off right there. So again, you're going to want to, and if you have some collection of a lot of little things, you're going to try to corral them under a cloche, into a little cabinet, in a tray, and what doesn't fit, put it away, because it's probably just too much.
Yes. And this other thing that I'm going to say, themes in decorating. Coastal, farmhouse, call it whatever you will, fill in the blank. When it's sliding from style and look to theme, you've gone too far, right? You like the beach, even if you're on the beach, you don't need to hit me over the head with the shells. Just a few things here and there. I got it. You like farmhouse look.
I don't think you did get it.
Oh, I got it. I can hear the shell. You know what I'm saying? It's like the gentleman I bought my house from, lovely man, but he wanted my house to be a Victorian house. To the point where it was almost like an old sad museum people wouldn't come to, right? He was going to be upset if I changed things. That's the way he wanted it to be. And that's what it looked like. There were doilies and it was, but it looked like, a abandoned old Victorian museum. So if you,
Speaking of the slips, yeah, nobody uses doilies anymore either.
well, I'm not suggesting that anyone does.
Oh, I know.
But that they were here. Yeah. So don't grab onto a theme. You want to develop a style, right? And a theme is not the same thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And I think that is well said. Too much furniture in the room.
Yeah.
Too much. And because you know what happens? If you're like us and you're collectors and you love things, you're buying something new, you're buying. Well, if everything's coming in but nothing's going out, you're going to end up with some where you can't get through. There's things piled up. In fact, I had stacks of chairs piled up in my house in the garage apartment that I just had to send off somewhere else.
Oh,
And
that's hard, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I guess it was a little bit hard. I have some more going Saturday, and that's fine. I mean, you just have to do it.
Yeah.
So talking about the clutter and everything along those lines, how about too many photos sitting out?
Yeah.
Remember when that used to be the look, is a lot of photos
Right.
where you couldn't have too many? Well,
Yeah.
guess what? You can have too many. And so if you do, just weed them out. Just have your very favorites there. I'm not saying don't have pictures, but I think too many is not going to be good for you.
Yeah, it tends to then go to sort of the clutter, and sometimes the frames tend to the cute side too, depending on who's in, what when you got the frame and all of that. So that might be something you want to take a good look at, a nice discerning eye, and maybe take a few away, put them away, rotate them around, something like that. Mm-hmm. So the things that we talked about today, you may not be experiencing any of this in your own home, and maybe you are, but you love all your photos, or you love your plastic spoon, and that's all fine. Again, it's just to sort of open your eyes to see the possibilities, because sometimes we just gloss over what we've got going on in our own house, and it would be so easy to make some of these changes.
Absolutely.
Really excited to be sharing our Instagram feature this week. It's Glen House Restoration. Britton is the woman who is running the account and also is the steward, along with her family, of an amazing historic home that's now located in the Inman Park area of Atlanta. Britton and her family have an incredible Victorian home that they are meticulously restoring with style, care, and such respect. This house is going to blow you away. And I know my Victorian homes, but I have never seen a home with a facade like this. You got to check it out. And she does such a beautiful job of decorating for the seasons. It is lovely. I know you're going to love Glen House Restoration as much as I do. So the link to that IG account will be in the show notes. Give it a follow. And another thing we want you to do is schedule a design consult with us. If you are at all interested in doing that in the near future, sign up soon. We have just a few slots left for the summer. We absolutely love doing these, and everybody says they get so much out of them. Link will be in the show notes, and we want to be talking to you soon. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quinn's. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor. And I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. Do you have a crush for us today?
I do, and this is my favorite makeup. I don't think I've shared this before, so I thought this would be nice to share because it's so hard to find makeup that we like. And mine is the Jane Iredale's Pure Pressed Base Mineral Foundation, and I've been using it for a couple of years, and I really like it. I'll include a link to it. But
I never even heard of that brand.
Well, Soft Surroundings carries it, and it's other places too. But I'll include a link to it online so you can get it. But I really like it. It works well, and it takes off the shine if you've got that. I know your skin's so beautiful. You don't even use makeup, do you?
Oh my goodness, you're so silly.
Didn't you say that? Didn't you say you don't use foundation?
Oh yeah, I don't use foundation, but yeah, I do wear makeup. Yeah, I don't wear a foundation, but maybe I should try. Okay, that's funny because you had sort of a beauty crush. I also have a crush in the beauty department. It's my new blow dryer. It's got a really weird name. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but I love it. It makes such a difference because it makes your hair sort of nice and smooth. I don't know.
Oh, there's I like that.
The blow dryer.
You and I both have curly hair, so
yeah. I mean, I didn't for years, so sometimes I'm like, still surprised that my hair gets wavy and stuff. It's Baby Litrel. It's really a strange name. Baby, the word baby, LTRL. I'm not sure how you pronounce it or what that stands for.
Is this different than a regular hairdryer?
It's a professional hairdryer.
Aren't they all, darling?
I guess they all are, but I got really great reviews. Easy to use, but you can really control it. So I won't go further into detail. You can read the reviews. I'll put a link in the show notes.
This was so fun, and I hope that you got some ideas on how just to spruce it up. If there's something that we mentioned that you didn't really agree with, well, that's fine too. We encourage everyone to think for themselves and do what works for them in their home. So remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.